fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the final week of Thursday Night Thunder for the April season. And tonight, 16 of the baddest of the bad are going to be ripping up the arena floor for all you great monster truck fans out here ready to see some wild and crazy action. Be sure you hang out to the end of the video because we have got some of the absolute best side-by-side diecast monster truck racing you will ever see on YouTube. Also tonight, we're going to see if Preston Hurd and Zombie are going to be able to hang on to that championship flag that they won last week. It just goes to prove it's anybody's ball game out here on Thursday Night Thunder, and we're going to see if he can hang on to that checkered flag and take it right on in to the May season. Now, as we get things started, the trucks heading back to the pits, the fans that pack the stands, this is how round one action is going to be shaken down. Quad Chaos set to take on Excalibur to get us started. Then we're going to see the return of War Wizard taking on Megalodon, King Crunch taking on Inferno, Rammunition taking on Brutus, other side of the bracket, Destroyer taking on Tropical Thunder, Snakebite set to take on Junkyard Dog, Blue Thunder taking on UFO, and a Ford Over Brigade showdown. And then closing out round one, the USA 1 machine will take on the champion and Zombie. And that's how round one action is going to be shaken down for all you great MTA fans. Thank you guys so much for being here. Right now, round one action set to kick off with the 2024 Monster Jam World Finals Freestyle Champion, Josh Dig Rhodes and Excalibur from the Crush This race team, looking to put that bad bow tie square body in the winner circle here tonight. However, Josh Brown came out like a ball of fire in week one of the April season. Quad Chaos ready to go on the inside lane. Who's it going to be going to round two? Green light goes down on the line. They're side by side now, hopping over the first jump, a shootout to the finish line, making a little bit of contact as they go up and over that finish line, ladies and gentlemen. Excalibur may have gotten the edge out on Quad Chaos. They did make contact as they crossed the line. As we go back and check out our MTA photo finish, your winner in round one will be Josh Rhodes and Excalibur. He'll put Josh Brown and Quad Chaos on the trailer early here tonight. What a ride in a close race here to get things started. Next up here tonight in round one, Peanut returns and Megalodon made it all the way to the final round showdown a couple of weeks ago. He's now ready to take on Chris Balouk and the all-new War Wizard, the former three-time Thursday Night Thunder champion. Last week came out of no man's land, made a hard left right into the Wendy's drive-thru. He's trying to do better here tonight. Megalodon, he's seeing the damage done last week. He's trying to put it back in victory lane here tonight. One more time, both trucks are staged. Here's the green light, War Wizard and Megalodon are side by side. Slightly the War Wizard. Here comes the big fish on the inside. Over he goes. What a ride for Peanut. He was trying to chase down Chris Balouk, and I'm going to tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, that was way too close to call up here in the booth. As we go down and check out our MTA replay, you see Balouk and the War Wizard on the outside lane with a slight lead. Here comes Megalodon now up and over no man's land. He settles it back down. A first look at your photo finish. It looks pretty even right there as we put the line on the screen. Your winner is going to be Chris Balouk in the War Wizard by literally inches as Megalodon turns it over here tonight in the final weeks of the April season. Our MTA track crew officials are down there now to roll him back over. Peanuts out of the truck. He's A-okay, and it looks like Megalodon has a little bit more damage than it did last week. However, it's the end of the season, ladies and gentlemen, so they're going to go back and tighten up their nuts and bolts. They'll be back, I'm sure of it, for Thursday Night Thunder. Next up here tonight in our round one competition, Louis Giovannice returns in the Inferno machine. Haven't seen him do well all season long. He's hoping to turn it around here tonight in the final week. Now set to take on Eric Patiki in the King Crunch Chevrolet all the way out of Woodlands, Texas. He eliminated the champion in Rammunition last week inside of round one. Does the bow tie camp on the inside. Have that truck figured out to close out the April season. He's got to put Inferno on the trailer here tonight. Here's the green light down the straightaway. They go side by side. They're dead even up and over the first jump, and King Crunch pulls the trigger over the last set of cars as he gives Quad Chaos a nice little hello down there in the shutdown area. And Inferno will be on the trailer early tonight again in round one. Hopefully they'll get that truck squared away and back for our Thursday Night Thunder competition. Nonetheless, King Crunch moving on. Next up here tonight, Dana Gosh and Rammunition, the Dodge Heavy Horsepower Camp, all the way from the Crush This race team, ready now to take on Greg Durbin in Brutus. He's all the way back here from Columbus, Michigan, representing Team Scream over here on the inside lane. I do apologize if that Brutus went a little too long. Hopefully you guys sung along with me. Nonetheless, they're staged up at the line. Here's the green light now. Brutus and Rammunition down the straightaway. The Dodge has the whole shot. Brutus trying to close the gap, and it won't be enough as Greg Durbin will go on the trailer here tonight, and Rammunition will move right along into round 2 competition. Crush this. Looking strong thus far as we saw Excalibur advance as well as Rammunition here tonight inside of round 1. Next up here tonight, Chad Legit, 2 Legit returning, and Tropical Thunder, the 2021 Maximum Carnage champion, now set to take on Joseph Nelson, who is now a one-time Thursday Night Thunder champion. He got that win just a couple of weeks ago. There you see the remnants of Tropical Thunder. He turned that bad boy over in week 1 of the April season. We'll see if he's got what it takes to put Destroyer on the trailer here tonight inside of round 1. Both drivers stay. Green light goes down. Tropical Thunder and Destroyer now side by side over the jump, and Destroyer almost turning it over down there inside of the shutdown area as Chad Legit makes a little bit of contact with him, comes over into Destroyer's lane. Nonetheless, Joseph Nelson and Destroyer, your round 1 victor here tonight over Tropical Thunder. And next up here tonight in our round 1 competition, Ryan Davis and Junkyard Dog out here representing the Backyard Beast. If you have not checked out the Backyard Jam over on YouTube, Javon Woodrow does an amazing job. Be sure to check those guys out again. That is the Backyard Jam over on YouTube. Right there on the inside lane, Mean Gene Patterson, Colt Cobra out of Cobra Creek, Colorado. Snake Fight representing crushing us out here on that outside lane. Here's the green light down. Junkyard Dog and Snake Fight hammered down. Junkyard Dog with a lead. The Snake Fight trying to come back on him as both of them shut it down over the van stacks right there. And Gene Patterson getting a little crossed up, sliding off the side of that van stack in our shutdown area. What an incredible matchup that was as Junkyard Dog and Ryan Davis had a lead on him almost 3/4 of the way down the track. Going back now and checking out your MTA photo finish. Your winner in round 1 will be Mean Gene Patterson and Snakebite, who comes back over the last set of cars. He just edges out the Junkyard Dog here tonight. And next up here, it's the battle of the Blue Oval Bandits. James Bailey Court out of Cinnamon, New Jersey, representing the K&J Motorsports race team, the UFO Ford at the line. He is set to take on the S-Kicker, Sawyer Ramsdale, your Monster Mania 6 Night 2 champion, and the Built Ford Tough Blue Thunder over there on the inside lane. Which Ford Oval Brigade is going to move on into round 2 action? Both drivers stay. Green light drops down. UFO got the whole shot. Here comes Blue Thunder on the inside lane. Another close matchup as they make a little bit of contact. Shutting the trucks down there, going over the final van stacks. They do get into the other drivers down there that are parked in the pit stable. But what a wild ride it was going across the finish line. Your winner in round 1, it's going to be James Bailey Court and UFO by inches. These races tonight have been absolutely incredible, ladies and gentlemen. But now it's come down to brass tacks. Does Jalen Buford in the USA 1 Chevrolet, all the way from the Renegades Motorsports race team, have what it takes to knock off the reigning defending champion, Preston Hurd and Zombie, who took home his very first Thunder Championship last week? He's trying to hang on to that checkered flag and take it right on into the May season. The USA 1 Chevrolet on the inside wants to do just that. Put him on the trailer. Here's the green light down the straightaway. They go. Zombie with a slight lead. USA 1 down and shape. He crosses up. Over goes Zombie in the shutdown area. Not sure if Jalen Buford at USA 1 had something to do with that. And Zombie gets crossed up on the van stack in our shutdown area. Taking another look at it coming down the straightaway here. Zombie has a slight lead. Watch USA 1 on the inside. Got a little swirled up right there over the first jump. He tries to gather it back up. Shot over towards Zombie's lane. And it doesn't look like he made contact to the very end. And over goes Preston Hurd and Zombie here tonight. However, he is the champion in round 1, eliminating USA 1. Our MTA track crew and officials are down there. They got him out of the truck. As you see some body pieces that coming off of Zombie, we're going to have a pit segment update for him later tonight and see if that truck is eligible to come back for round 2. And hopefully he's able to do so. First time as a champion. Hopefully he doesn't have to go out this way. And they're going to go down there, tighten up their nuts and bolts, and try to get Zombie back for our round 2 competition. What a wild and crazy race that was. Buford getting a little crossed up. USA 1 going home on the trailer, and the Zombie team left with a lot of work to do before they can advance back into our round 2 competition. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, will be the conclusion of round one action. What a wild way to start the final week of the April season. We still got a lot more great racing still to come. 8 trucks remain in our field here tonight. Who's going to take it all the way? We're going to find out when round 2 comes up next.
It's bigger. It's louder. It's better than ever. This still isn't your typical motorsports podcast. This is the 10th anniversary of Crush This, a monster truck podcast brought to you by J Concepts. For 10 years, your hosts, the monster truck Canucker Brad Shaw and Dan Chichagash, have brought you into the minds and personalities of the monster truck industry. Strap in and hold on tight. This is Crush This.
Be sure to check out the Crush This podcast Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock only on YouTube and Facebook, hosted by Dan Chichagash and the monster truck Canucker Brad Shaw. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Thursday Night Thunder. Here's how round 2 action is going to be shaken down. Excalibur set to take on War Wizard. Then King Crunch will be taking on Rammunition in a rematch from last week. Other side of the bracket, Destroyer taking on Snakebite. And then closing out your round 2 competition, UFO and James Vaillancourt will get a shot at the reigning champion, Preston Hurd and Zombie, if they can get that truck back together after that round 1 rollover earlier tonight. And right now, up at the line, your 2024 Halloween Madness champion, Josh Dig Rhodes and Excalibur, the square body Chevrolet, coming up against Chris Ballou in the War Wizard. They seem to have all the bugs worked out of that truck since its debut last season. Looks to be running strong out here tonight. He now has to take on Excalibur from the Crush This podcast race team over there on the other side. Both trucks staged and ready to go. Green light goes down for round 2 competition. Excalibur with the early lead is going to cross up here, and War Wizard will take home a win as he slams right back into Inferno there in the shutdown area. Excalibur goes for Megalodon as both drivers try to get it woed, and looks like War Wizard is your round 2 winner as he takes out Excalibur. And right now at the line, Dan Chichagash and the Rammunition in a rematch from last week. Eric Latiki and the King Crunch Chevrolet took him out in round 1 last week, making him lose the championship flag. You know Cheech and the Rammunition Dodge want to get a little bit of revenge out here tonight inside of round 2. King Crunch and the Chevrolet camp on the inside lane. Stage now, here's the green light down the straightaway. The Dodge got a hold shot on him. Here comes the Chevrolet on the inside lane. Way too close to call from up here in the booth. I'm not sure if Eric Latiki may have just done it again, and he might have Cheech's number in the Dodge camp. Did the Chevrolet pull it out at the end, going across the finish line? We're going to go back down and check out your MTA photo finish. And once again, the Chevrolet and King Crunch, Eric Latiki will take out the Dodge heavy horsepower Rammunition. A little bit of a grudge match forming right there between them two. But right now, as we move along with round 2 action, Joseph Nelson returns in the Destroyer, ready to throw down against Mean Gene Patterson, another driver from the Crush This podcast race team over there on the outside lane. The Ford PDS Supercharged Brad Siegel Snakebite ready to rock the house. A couple of Ford Oval Brigades here tonight in round 2. Here's the green light now as Snakebite and Destroyer go down the straightaway. Snakebite with the lead. Destroyer trying to close the gap on him. Over he goes in the shutdown area. Joseph Nelson turning the truck over. He's not sure what he was going for right there as he tried to get it woed. He tried to turn out of it before hitting the cars there in the shutdown area. We're going to go back and check out your MTA replay here. And off the line they go. You see Gene Patterson has a slight lead on Destroyer. Joseph Nelson knows he has to close the gap. Launches, flies high, up and over no man's land, settles it back down. Crossed up right there over the last set of cars. Up on his lid he goes, and Snakebite will advance on into our semifinal competition here tonight on Thunder. But right now, as we get set and ready to close out round 2 action, we are down in the pit area where the crew is thrashing on the zombie machine. They've been working all round 2 long and throughout the commercial break. They seem to have got the truck back together. More or less just some fiberglass damage done to the truck. However, not sure if anything else is going on. We haven't heard an update from the pit crew, so we're going to see what he's got here in round 2 to close things out and try to hang on to that championship flag that he won last week on Thunder. He now has to take on James Vaillancourt, Cool Hand Luke, a truck you don't want to mess with. The brand new UFO Ford, which made its debut late last year. It's been working a wonder for the Vaillancourt team in K&J Motorsports. Let's see what he's got against the reigning champion, Preston Hurd and Zombie. Both trucks are staged. Here's the green light now. Zombie and UFO are side by side. UFO pulling a lead on the inside, and he will take it away as Zombie dumps it over inside the shutdown area one more time here tonight. More or less he slid off the side of the van stack trying to get it woed, and UFO, Mr. Cool and Luke, James Baileycourt from the K&J Motorsports race team will put the champion on the trailer here tonight. So that means to close out the April season, we are going to crown an all-new Thursday Night Thunder champion, and he will be taking the championship flag on into the May season. We got 4 trucks remaining in our field here tonight out of 16. Who's going to take it all the way to victory lane? Ladies and gentlemen, semifinal action is coming up next. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Thursday Night Thunder, the week 4 of the April season. We're getting ready to close things out as semifinal action is coming right to your TV screen. And right now we're going to see Chris Baluk and War Wizard take on King Crunch, other side of the bracket. Gene Patterson and Snakebite gets the old rivalry cranked back up with James Baileycourt in the UFO Ford. So a couple of Ford Oval Brigades to close out semifinal action. But right now, the eyes are on Chris Baluk and that brand new War Wizard. It's been working a wonder for him. Over here on the other lane is Eric Latiki in the King Crunch Chevrolet, who has knocked out Dana Gotch in the Dodge Hemi Horsepower Ammunition the last 2 weeks in a row. This race right here is the underdog story. These guys want to make it to the final round. War Wizard taking on King Crunch. Here's the green light down the straightaway they go. They're side by side now, slightly to War Wizard as King Crunch closes the gap. And Eric Latiki will punch his ticket into the final round showdown here tonight in the King Crunch Chevrolet. As it came down to the last set of cars over the finish line, he will take out War Wizard here tonight as War Wizard put on a great show this coming week. And next up here tonight is Cool Hand Luke himself, James Baileycourt, the UFO Ford out of Cinnamon, New Jersey, taking on Mean Gene Patterson out of Jefferson City, Missouri, in the Ford Supercharged PDS Snakebite over there on the inside lane, getting ready to take on the UFO Ford. Both teams are represented here tonight. Crush this, K&J Motorsports, 2 Ford Ovals gonna throw down in the semifinals. Green light goes down up the line. They're side by side, slightly going to Patterson. Baileycourt coming back onto the inside, up on 2 wheels and turning it over in the shutdown area. And somehow Gene Patterson found himself over here on the inside lane where Baileycourt was running. Not sure how that happened. There you see the UFO machine on its side. He kind of lightly dumped it on its lid, trying to get it shut down there before hitting the other trucks. Nonetheless, Baileycourt and UFO should be back for the final round showdown, and it's going to be UFO taking on King Crunch. Who's going to take the championship flag on into the May season? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to find that out when the finals comes up next after our break. Are you ready to get in on the action here on the Monster Truck Attitude YouTube channel? Look no further. Head over to Facebook where you can sign up for all the great events we host right here on the MTA YouTube channel. Be sure to sign up for the events and register your name and get locked in with a monster truck of your own and get ready for the great thrills and spills right here on the MTA YouTube channel. Again, find us on Facebook, register for these events, and you soon will be competing in all the great events. We hope to see you there. And get ready for the wild and crazy action. Be sure to subscribe and turn on all notifications so you don't miss a beat right here on the Monster Truck Attitude YouTube channel. Welcome back to Thursday Night Thunder here as we close out the April season. And ladies and gentlemen, what a ride it's been. On the inside here, King Crunch knocked out Inferno in round 1, Rammunition in round 2, and then we saw him take out War Wizard in semis. UFO took out the Blue Thunder Machine, Zombie, and then Snakebite in our semifinals just to get his ticket right here in the final round showdown. And this is what it's all about. These drivers are competing for that championship flag, the sacred Thursday Night Thunder flag that's been represented for the last 203 episodes. And right now, Eric Latiki gets a shot at his very first championship win. He now has to take on James Baileycourt, who is shooting for championship number 7 out here on Thursday Night Thunder in the brand new UFO Ford. Eric Latiki in the King Crunch Chevrolet has been making a big name for himself as of these last couple of weeks. Does he have what it takes here tonight? Ladies and gentlemen, Ford takes on Chevrolet. UFO and King Crunch. Here's Showdown down the straightaway they go. They're side by side, dead even through no man's land. What a race it is as they shut it down there into the other trucks. What a matchup it was as they were seemingly side by side all the way down to the very end of the race. Ford, Chevrolet, King Crunch, UFO. Let's go back and check out your MTA replay, ladies and gentlemen. Off the line they go. Both drivers cut an incredible light. Side by side, you can see why these two drivers were the fastest of the night. Fly high, up and over the jump through no man's land. They settle it down, and Eric Latiki in the King Crunch Chevrolet will claim his first championship win over a huge name, James Bailey Court and UFO. So, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please help me in congratulating your winner here tonight, Eric Latiki and King Crunch. Ladies and gentlemen, what a wild and crazy night of racing. Be sure to go over to the MTA Facebook page later on tonight at 8 o'clock and sign up for the all-new Revolution show coming right here to the MTA YouTube channel. Big congratulations to Eric Latiki and King Crunch. Thank you guys so much. Be sure if you haven't already, crush that subscribe button, and I'll catch you down the road.